So I daily updates na awhwɛ Kelvin Taylor aka asɛm bi sɛ ɛyɛ Chief Justice Torkono need to be sacked. Reasons bɛn na ɔde kasa sɛ and she needs to be sacked because nkurɔfoɔ bi threaten sɛ ɔmo de Mahama ɛbɛsue Mahama because of wasake dampare. Nti na ɔse Chief Justice Mahama ɛwɔ akwanya biara ɔwɔ the court anaasɛ no the law mandate no nti Chief Justice need to be sacked. Nti abusua yɛnkɔ tie more details to this story. God bless you.
I'm telling you, yen you know titi dwom eton tomatoes a yembu omo, carpenter for yembu omo, hairdressers yembu omo no mo fie no, omo nim nyansa chenkofo we bebree. These people, when you take the nonsense they learned in school, if you I'm telling you. Now, a president came into office. He has set up a constitutional review committee. Say, yan constitution no. Nyame bia ye hu ne se entwa ye no yen amend no yen tenetene no nti se monya idea bi kura se adena president bia ba na we change IGP. Why don't you take your grievances to the committee that is taking care of amending the constitution for it to stop these kind of things? Why don't you go to the committee? Why don't you take your grievances to the committee and tell the committee, say, you know something, this constitution, we want to amend the constitution that no president should come in the future when this thing is actually accepted as Ghanaian as constitution. When anybody comes to be president of this country, that person sign depending to me and change IGP. Now, the Constitutional Review Committee is ongoing. Now, the court on speculations. Are you stupid? How Musku na muko saying? The same way that Afenyomak in here, Kwasiafo, he went to court to restrain the speaker on an action that he has not taken. The same stupidity. Now, if we keep on doing this, we keep on going to court on speculations, we keep on thinking, say, we need to do things to please our friends. How do we build the nation? Mona musoma kenkan cheme, me mini master so. Mona musoma de what brofo cheme to muni nyansa. Mona musoma ndiatem. But your actions clearly say Jimmy. You people are the ones derailing the progress of this nation. Because the first thing you do is that you don't go to court on speculations. Because an action had not been taken. It could take 7 years. Now President Sake Dampare. So what are you going to court on? Now the president has sacked Dampare. So whatever you have presented in court is based on speculations. What are you going to do? Are you going to fuckingly stupidly amend that suit, Nana? Jimmy. And let me tell you people something. The Chief Justice herself, she is not static. She is not constant. The Chief Justice can be sacked. Do you know that? If you say, Ejuma media mamono, and yes, I will continue. I will say, Ejumana, who say, Odim Faso, Befi. I'll say, who say, Jumana, who pay Jubenim. If you say, from the finance minister, the report or the Bachelor of Parliament, government agencies now about 90% omunina kano mobo. It was say, Odima de Kudientia or ye munina sa monkodano. One, I will say Jumana Edimatu anono, I was saying Faswa Basso. I was say Omano Enyamoson Faswo, Bebia Musika Samuano and yet also obia to me peja edwuma no sika semu. Second, woso a wo de ho be frafra krono any contract in semu sebio efidie de be pawo no obepamo o se edwuma no kura no se emreso na se ye be review brodi fra bibi review wo ye edwuma do mbre bi a nipa ofa edwuma no ofrawo e kire wo se edwuma na wo ye no ekoyi ana se enkoyi sebio se ne a wo keka wo ho sika wo de ba o se omo ye review no. Inti sanko fo ya na form 2026 ene be mu review o se review ni ba na se undwuma ana wadwuma wo ye no enso ni a o se ono as a president no odi option bia se obepam inti ende John Mahama ka kire CEO so mo Ghana nyina no se edwuma no me de amamo when to deliver mepam. This is not the time for excuses. This is not the time for people to say party over nation. Or say Ghana for Eddie Juma Ashen and Sa. The Juma Yinan say, or say Ghana for Enya Eddie, a Juma or the Amamo home for so. Why, you say, a Sikantina Obayano, and yet if you say, one, a Jumana will rumno, I was say Ghana Yahon for so. Two, I was say Jumana Udim Rasso. Three, so one born home or dinner Pamon, into Odin kind Aka Amamohu. Into that chibino, what is a John Mahama review? Na se or pamo nkofo a we din kan etu omofo. Bon homodin na make sure say won fa ho nkofrofra eye krono ne keta hyehyem. Every say ono John Mahama de. Opese Ghana for te ase say resetting agenda no we ka ho. Enti odin kan so ama mo so mahu ansa na mo nyina ma start akom office akoye adwuma. John Mahama edin kan tufo. John Mahama esa the one na to ho. John Mahama aye na sede. Aka mo CEO for anamo prepositions. Mo anamo throw letters. Mo anamo ti radio su ekem. Mo anamo frefren konfo behind the scenes say yen kebi mamo. Mo anamo se ye de ye party adwuma che. Mo anamo se ye de na ya yen freye. Mo anamo se John Mahama na aban adan omokofa bonten sofo no mogya ya na. Mo amo yes a campaign ni nyina no emredu. John Mahama say de adwuma na hye monsa. When deliver ye be pamon eno ano no. Now mame enko menim na medwudwa bibi mu nkyerɛ mu. Free SHS na MPP forecast say eya John Mahama any NDC for be gunu no asem papa bia ba fie. Me ka kyerɛ Ghana for say nobody should trust the NPP. Omo ye wifo, omo ye akromfo, omo ye atrofo. Now omo idea nyina ne say they are going to go out and lie. Now omo gin say omo twa atro na to aso a Ghana for begie di and said the year from 2012 to 2016 enye dwuma. And the education minister kasa our friend Haruna Idrisu Teni or say free SHS we have decided to assign 150,000 students to private schools. Mokai say John Mahama wo position no catch the Ghana for say the free SHS aba and just say omo running a private schools a senior high schools no I will see a twa omo bo if we say almost a Ghana for Sebio yempo almost contribute to the development of Ghana for Nkwara. Inti John Mahama in opposition no catch there a Ekufuado aban say mama yen twa private schools nembo Sebio Ghana ni na wenye sika and also ono super se obie school na Sebio enkwara mo Ghana dodo no nya aban school no kura nkwa so betumi aba sa school no ma yen nyina ya boa kyekere oman no. Inter den na aban eka se free SHS aba emwa odebe boa sa nkwara no ompese odebe boa private schools no so ma so afa Ghana nkwara ni bi. Inter den John Mahama through education minister de asem papa bi aba say nkwara 150,000 be che de ma private schools no if you say private schools no so no hia aban mmoa inti sene be ya yenya sa overcrowding. Remember red blue green na yeko your friend shift system no and a double track no because schools majority of schools are now Ghana no na enkwara ne doors che schools no ekufo de ne MPP omo jiminti e-blocks no mo beto ye no omo ntuma nsi bia nka ho ene na de double track ne ba na enkwara ne bitifie na ebi ko school you see aban ne say enkwara 150,000 no omo be che omo ama accredited senior high schools private na aban so ayeden aso ma sene kakra sene be ya school nkwara no dodo ombetwa no omo nyina benya school akọ nti this is how you govern. You see so you don't leave some people behind. So wonka say ya aban into wagya ankura we chire Ghana your situation baby edru no say yenya ankura emo man so ya sene a ade bi aban baby abedin because right now as we speak the government of Ghana cannot employ over 800,000 people. That is the biggest capacity of which my employ. Inti busango say nipa 800,000 pen aban betuma form one. Omo maka no page one why na be so form e was a private entities and I say ankura ne form. Na say ankura no aban ni ne omo endi nsa woso na aban amboa ankura ama ankura na ehu say omo so row no ebetumi aboa ma ya kyekere man na ebe den na aban akyekere man no nti ebe hia say the government collaborates with the private sector to build the country, the education sector, the unemployment sector, the employment sector, the agriculture sector, the social, every sector the government needs to work with the private sector. Into this initiative by the NDC government led by John Mahama and then the competent education minister Haruna Idrisu, this is going to ease the pressure on the public senior high schools. School be oha omuntumi fandipa 4,000, but because abino Ekufuado mu no mo agiminti na ma sesa nkora na koguo na so nkro nsuo ewi omo na nkora ne nya nsuo nom abra ye wo private schools e wo Ghana aban betumi ne omodi nsawoso na nkora ne bi so akọ na aban ene private schools na tenase ahwe sene omo so betumi aboa asustain eye sa nkora na omo ho no into the government today John Mahama ebo a ohye Ghana fo ebo a ohye awofo se obedi president a ontwa free SHS mu obedi president a free SHS no obehye mu kena ama even omo ya private schools no senior high schools are private no John Mahama ka say obehye mu kena mo omo nyina no at the end of the day no ayeden at the end of the day no omo nya ho mfaso ama ye nyina nya ho mfaso enti ebo a John Mahama share Ghana no sa ebo no na ende wedi so Harry na Idris say omo decide omo ka omo adwene si omo say omo befa nipa 150,000 no oma chenkwara no de ama private senior high schools no na enkwara na nkomo beka fie no omu nyina so enya in school akọ into ya wofo a mensuro double track system no ye betwam NDC be ye free ho John Mahama ne NDC say enkwara no ebi nko blue enko green enko red enkwara no nyina be ko school the same day no man ba midterms the same day no man sa amakwan the same day obi entumi meka nchem say abena ko ye no na ade na moma ba obi abeko September no be aba November, obi abeko June, no be aba July. Yen nyina abeko school the same time, ne yen nyina aba fie the same time. Eba sana jantra na nkora ne bono esu betwa if you say enne obi tia senkregwa odwen say the bako school enso ne ba e was second track. Ne bana ka che ne ma me say oko school otafo. Mi ken oteboy bi nchen e bo nkwan. Anajo akora no ye de ti aboban e ne ye bo ne to saa nyoma no esu betwa every say ya bena ba eye ekuata so aba untimi kan chem say ya bena ba ma ekuata mba ye because ye nyina ye ma kwan pe e ne ye nyina ko school pe inti John Mahama ebo a ohye Ghana fo no ebo no e na wadi so fenkyem John Mahama a kire Ghana fo say saa ensam a one Ghana fo kan ye a bro different social contract no saa ebo a ohye Ghana fo no odi ebo no so and every single day John Mahama follows every single thing he has told Ghanaians. International Dankwe Kufuado, at a point, instead say, or they private school for no eba beka na omagin kwarani bi na ye nyina chechire man na bom no or the kwasia ka chire Ghana for say ye pa obi a ope no onfa ne banko private school onfa ne kwasia onfa ne banko private school sa na Nana Dankwe Kufuado ne MPP for en kwasia some ka chire Ghana no na Ghana for awofo ka se nana se sia nkwara no schools na bo apay so ade na won ne private school for no enka mutimbom na moso omomfa bi na aban ne omndi adwuma na Kufuado ka kire Ghana for awofo so omomfom kwase anko na the person in the back of private school no omfa ne ba enko private school achichide no asem okan ye ni.
Let me express before I sit down my difference with the president of the bar on one critical issue. People who can afford to pay fees for the education of their wards should send them to fee-paying private schools. Public schools, that is schools funded by the taxpayer, should be free to all who would otherwise be unable to pay for their education. That is why the numbers of pupils who have access to secondary education has doubled since the introduction of the free senior high school policy.
Oni bia ya pa enkwasiafo no mo ye lawyers let wo bom nsem. Omo no mo to mo nya lawyers o because politics say jimi enti akokora ne kan kwasiasem akokora ne jimi na ye nya mbrante ne mmaba wote wo say ye lawyers omo bom nsem say nwan asame Kufuado ka nyansa be ne woman I was a lawyer ni etena hobo ni nsem e kire wajimi e kire law na mkoye wo school no majority of you did not get the right passes a criminal nyoma na dumbe pie law school ho e be lawyers because the president standing before you know in some way can nyansa nim. Now if the government is the one taking care of kids in public schools sir. Now, if the government decides to offload some of the kids to private schools, the budget for those kids are more public school. No? That same budget can be given to those kids that have been loaned or have been given to the private schools. What difference does it make? Because I was spending 10 Ghana a day on every child in public school. Now you don't have the facility to, at the end of the day, take all these kids and Korani enya baby india, baby on double track ekoswa. What you need to do is offload some of the kids, give them to private schools that have accommodation. And if you are spending 10 Ghana cedis on every child at a private school, a government school, why don't you give the 10 Ghana cedis to the private school? For the private school to also make some money. And for the president to make this childish, stupid, ignorant statement, for people calling themselves lawyers to say, yes, yeah, boy, and seminal, then it means Ghana has a problem. Then it means Ghana as a nation, we need to relook at some people who stand in court to say they are knowledgeable enough to defend people. Because as Sama Ekufuado Kano Hono, Jimmy Kasanana or Kano. Because nobody has said Mema Abai and your free education. But is the government ready to be able to accommodate all these kids? No. The schools are over to, did you build the schools? No. So what do you have to do? So what do you build a facility after he was sworn in? Now, Mamantia say the president needs to sack the CID boss. Yeah. Who read that statement from the president on the 10th of January 2025? Your March, and the date you're saying. And then the 13th of March, President issues a statement away on the 10th of January. And Oka say the CID department of the Ghana Police Service, under the direction of the IGP then Dampare, they should conduct investigations. What has happened to this? Why responsibility for the investigations? Say why not also all your investigations? Now, when you read the letter, take your time. I'm going to read through it. Then you understand why the CID boss, immediately, the president of the republic, respectfully, he needs to sack this lady because she's a cheap party foot soldier who does not understand her job. The Inspector General of Police, Ghana Police Service, dear Dr. Dampare, request for immediate investigation into the death of 8 Ghanaians during the 2020 and 2024 general elections. Or see, the president said he's requesting all the way in January for investigations to be done. Dampare will take the letter and instruct the CID boss to do the investigations. Dampare does not do investigations. Dampare technically is an administrative head. The CID boss, her job is to go down, interrogate, make sure the facts, make sure evidence is gathered, and then a report at the end of the day is put together. The president was talking to the CID boss because I will read detailing letter the insider. Ubeun said everything was directed to the CID boss. Now, Uridi will say, I have been instructed by His Excellency John Mahama to formally request your office to initiate immediate investigations into the tragic death of Ghanaian citizens during the 2020-2024 general elections. These incidents, which occurred in various parts of the country, have left a lasting scar on our democratic process, and it is imperative that justice is served for the victims and their families. The president wants investigations to be done. Dampare does not do investigations. It's the CID boss who does investigations and send the report to Dampare. What has happened to the investigations? Now, when you go to the point the president put down, you will understand why I'm saying, Dampare has been sacked. Good news. The CID boss needs to be sacked. Now, Uridi, Lieutenant President release here now. Or say, to ensure the investigations are comprehensive and transparent, we respectfully propose the following. 1. Establishment of a dedicated investigative force whose job is to make sure a dedicated investigative force is put together. It's the CID boss. Dampare will instruct the CID boss to make sure a dedicated investigative team is put together. So the job was on the shoulders of the CID boss.
Subscribe to my YouTube channel, like and share. Asema Kelvin Taylor can because the Chief Justice of the Republic, because Akufo-Addo appointed as the Chief Justice of the Republic, and so far any year appointee under Akufo-Addo must be sacked from office because Onone Ekufado NNA Eye Juma under his tenure as a president of the republic. So if there is a change of government and there is any amendments, Biana, this abano the current government didn't feel like say okay, me feel say me no be Juma, but in the constitution of the Republic of Ghana, no, the president has the mandate or has the right to what to change or to what to amend any to do any changes appointee bia the previous government and appointed. You know, here's the case. Chief Justice of the Republic, you know, she is next to what to be sacked because over Chief Justice, she was appointed by Akufo-Addo to only the extent that the sitting government, if you say okay, then I have to maintain her to what to continue his job. But if the government is not okay with what his service and the service, he has the right to change the sitting chief justice.